back to another video. Today we are going to try and fit this Maxxis Minion DHR II onto a DT Swiss E1700 rim. This tyre has been returned to the shop after a customer bought it from us, and he said he's failed to get the tyre on the rim. This is a front rim. So it is a DHR II, which is designed to go on the back of the bike, on the back wheel, but just so that I can test it out and figure out if the customer's actually right in what he's saying, then I'm going to fit it to a front wheel. Alright, so typically people do come into the shop after having issues getting tyres on their bikes, you know, 9 times out of 10, then I can just fit the tyre without even using tie levers. So preferably I would always fit a tyre onto a rim without using tie levers, just because of course there's a chance of damaging the inner tube with the levers. So anyway, so here goes. I'm going to try and fit this this Minion DHR II onto this DT Swiss E1700 without the use of tie levers, which I presume I would be able to, because I normally can. Okay, here goes. So what I would normally do is I would get the one side on, and then I would fit the inner tube, and then the other side on. Right, so straight off I can tell that it is quite a tight fit. So the usual procedure is to kind of try and get the tyre into a position. You've got to try and manipulate it into a position where it actually wants to go. So we've got a little bit there left. You can see that I need to squeeze on. Let me see if I can move around where it's already popped on, and see if I can get it all the way over to the other side, to see if this can get on with just my fingers. And it's pretty tough. So right off, I do believe it may be troublesome on the other side with an inner tube, but I'm determined to get it. See if I can go back round, squeeze it over as much as I can. This is what I always try and tell my customers, is to do the very best they can to try and get the tyre fitted without using tie levers. Of course, it's not so important with tubeless, and also with the first side where you haven't got an inner tube to contend with. Yep, this is tough. So I'm thinking now, maybe the customer is right. It is a very tough one indeed. Right, so I got to the point now where I think I've exhausted my efforts to get it on without tie levers. So I think I'm going to have to reach for some tie levers. This is very unusual. They do just go on really quite easy. I think I need to take a layer off as well, because it's getting rather hot. Right, so I've taken my taken my top off, and I thought, right, let's have another go. I'm determined to get this on without using tie levers, because I'm pretty sure it can be done. But as you can tell, it's proven to be pretty difficult. Of course, a lot of the time you wouldn't want to be using tie levers out on the trail, just because there's a danger of puncturing the inner tube when you're trying to get home. So the last thing you want to do if you're just carrying one tube is to puncture that, pinch that inner tube, so you're left with nothing. I mean, I guess that's the beauty of tubeless, is that, you know, you probably wouldn't have to do this anyway. So if you did get a hole and you couldn't get it to seal, then you would plug it. Okay, so I'm going to try and use some tie levers now, because my thumbs hurt. And yeah, I've been defeated. Right then, so I'm now going to use tie levers to get this last section on. It's pretty tight even with that. There's hardly any gap for me to get inside. Well, I've done that side now. There we go. Right then, so let's imagine this is tubeless and there's no inner tube fitted. Let's get the second side on. So again, already I'm thinking, there's a big distance now between the bead of the tyre and the edge of the rim. So again, in this case, I would usually go back around from this point, and I would try and get the tyre over as much as I can, which is something I always tell my customers when they're fitting a tyre to do, to avoid using levers. So the idea is that when you get back round to this point that was difficult, then it's no longer difficult. But in this case, there's a huge gap. Right then, so this is a Maxxis Minion DHR II, and it's a 27.5 times 2.4. The DT Swiss rim is a 27.5, and that to me just seems like a dodgy tyre, because that is so far off. Right, so let me try a tie lever. just so far off. I kind of suspect that I do suspect that it's a bit of a dud, and it may have to go back. I think I'll let Madison try that themselves. So I get the one side hooked on, but this side is so far off. There's loads there. Yeah, I think it's going to be a call to customer care, Madison. That's crazy. Most Maxxis tyres, they just slip on. They slip on with enough manipulation. You know, I wouldn't usually have to use tyre levers. So that surprised me a lot. That. So I guess the customer was right. And right enough, he's brought it back, and I'm going to send it back to Madison.